Hello, good evening, and thank you for staying with us. Welcome to Face Off on Channels Television. I am Neota Igbe. Now, a couple of days ago, the National Economic Summit ended that had its theme, Transforming Education Through Partnerships for Global Competitiveness. Now, in that conference, we had the government, representatives of the government, including the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Namadi Sambo, and then we had the private sector players from different fields there. We also had students there to talk about the situation in the education sector and how best to move it forward. At the end of that conference, there were certain recommendations that were made that included practical education, making it more practical, character building, and building a relationship between those are imparting knowledge, as the academics, the teachers, the lecturers, and the students themselves. At the end of the day, the question, however, would be, that many people raised, is that if the government plays its part and the private sector do their own part, how prepared are the academics to imparting knowledge? Are they committed? I mean, some will talk about the fact that in those days, teachers were passionate about their jobs, were interested in seeing their students move from level to level. But today, they are more interested in having contracts. They are more interested in how much they are paid or not paid, and where they travel to or where they do not travel to. So how committed are the academics to imparting and improving education in Nigeria? This is what we're going to be looking at today. And we have in the studio a lecturer from the Department of Political Science, University of Lagos, Dr. Tolu Odubajo. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Tola Odubajo, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And on these other sides, a human resource consultant, Mr. Yemi Fayemi. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Okay, gentlemen, you have, we are really starting out late, and we do apologize for that, but you have a few seconds to state your claim. Do you think you're committed to improving education?
Yeah, from whatever perspectives you want to look at it from, to my mind, I believe the Nigerian teacher, I do not see any other sector of Nigeria that you can actually have participants that are more committed to the growth of education other than the lecturers in Nigeria. As compared to other parts of the world, the Nigerian lecturer has played tremendous and impactful role in improving the level of education in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. Your stand.
Okay, I mean, the world over research has shown that the greatest singular impact on education is the teacher. I remember that there was a claim by President Barack Obama speaking to the Hispanics saying, if you want to change anything in education, just change the guy in front of the classroom. So if the results of education is not what we want, and it's obvious from what we can see from the point of view of the number of people that went for the NIS test, from the number of people that you have to recruit and they are not well taught, that's the only person to blame. Interestingly, the teacher in the sports field is called the coach. So when Nigeria doesn't qualify for the Nations Cup or for the World Cup, what happens to the coach? He's fired. Nobody blames government, nobody blames the coach, nobody blames the field. It's the teacher. So why is it that in sports we don't allow our teachers to fumble, and then in education we allow it to fumble? At the end of the day, if the teacher does what is right and every other thing changes or remains the same, the teacher becomes the person that makes a difference. For me, that has a role to employ this person. The teacher is a man that should make things happen.
Okay, we'll take a break, and when we'll come back, we'll continue the conversation. You can join us via our Twitter handles or send us a mail. Your mails can go to faceoff@channelstv.com or via Twitter, tweet at faceofftoday or at Neotag, where the hashtag is improving education. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
I beg, me, I can't shout. How can you be somewhere? Today things are working, tomorrow they're not. As soon as I got the opportunity to switch to somewhere with real quality, I did.
Move to the network that gives you value. Switch to the Etisalat network and keep your number.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Welcome to Queen Altaburger School in England. My name is Onyeka. I came from Nigeria a year ago and I love it. If you want a first-class independent education in the UK, then consider Queen Altaburgers. Its academic results are outstanding. We have been ranked in the top 10 schools in the country. The boarding facilities are amongst the best in Europe. We boast an equestrian center, a £1 million gym, a theatre, science wings, and even a manor house. We are set in a safe and secure campus near York, just 2 hours from London, with excellent transport links. We would love you to get in touch. Please visit our website at www.qe.org.
Come and see, waiting, come and they do it. Now why for quality wire, cables where they can pay, brother and sister, I beg where una they come and one light of your life. Come and hey, for quality wire where they can go, cables of any kind of project, come and one light of your life. Oh yeah, light up your life, light up your house, light up your life. Now hey, come and one light of your life. Now come and be the baba. For Coleman Wire and the Cables, we they produce better electrical wire and cable for all building projects them and for oil and gas industry. All our cable and wire get local and international certificate and all are made in Nigeria. Hey, no buy baroof cable and wire. Make you ask any wire and cable dealer where they near you for Coleman. Coleman Wire and the Cable, the world's power pipeline.
Zip knows that the whitest whites make you look your best and feel proud. You find it in every Zip wash. You see it in our children going to school and in our men on their way to work. You find it in the small things, the big things, and the extraordinary. And it all starts with a Zip wash. Zip makes you prouder.
Welcome back. We're asking the question, how committed are the academics to improving education in Nigeria vis-a-vis the recently concluded summit that focused on education? Now, I have a lecturer here who believes that the lecturers in Nigeria, the teachers in Nigeria, have shown utmost commitment to changing the educational sector and improving it. And from the conversations we had off camera, he believes that the government and the students and parents have a bigger role to play. That's aside from the... Meanwhile, Mr. Fayemi believes otherwise. But as I said, you can be part of the conversation. Join us via email, faceup@channelstv.com, or via Twitter, tweet at FaceUpToday, or tweet at #NeotaIgbe. Hashtag is improving education. So you gave your opening statement. First, you can ask the first question.
Oh, well, I was going to ask Mr. Fayemi what other options would you have, when you talk about, when you compare, what the teacher does in the classroom with what the coach does on the field of play. And if you say fire the coach, would you need to fire all of the teachers? How would you, how would you be able to relate that?
So that question, do the teachers deserve to be fired?
No, it's not about firing. I remember I think it's Alex Ferguson that said a coach has only two options. You're either going to be fired or you are just fired. The point I'm trying to make is that who is responsible for failure? There was a study done that showed that input-output analysis, all the factors that go into education, that the teacher has between 5 to 7% multiplier effect on education compared to any other factors, the quality of the schools, the quality of funding and all that. We've also seen in Nigeria that when you throw more money into education in Nigeria, you worsen the problem. There was another study that showed that for every $11 thrown into education in Nigeria, 10 go into administration and not into teaching. Check the figures that were presented by the Minister for Education at the NESG as the amount of money going to our universities and our schools, the majority of it goes to paying of personnel. How would somebody say he's a lecturer or is a teacher and is willing to collect more money than the money he has for research? If this person is a researcher, he knows if he does adequate research and quality research, he brings in more money than his salary. How much will a lecturer ever be paid? But if a lecturer gets a breakthrough in science, gets a breakthrough in technology, gets a breakthrough in creativity, the patent you're going to get from there will not just be about you. It will last you, your children, your grandchildren for a lifetime. So the question is, even the negotiation is it's largely skewed around salaries and stuff like that. Of course, we cannot say...
In other words, they are more interested in what's coming to their pockets and what they will use to aid their profession.
Maybe I wouldn't say it will be... I think it's a national problem.
Say it in lay terms.
The reality is that